Yes, mate, so how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be analysing plays for Game Week 10. These include transfer targets you might want to buy, out-of-form players you might want to sell, or even players you're not sure what to do with, and the best thing might be to wait and get more information. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below for more FPL content. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Be strong.
Right, mates, first up, we've got Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya. 5.7 million, 30.8% owned so far. Made 8 appearances so far in the league with 3 clean sheets, conceding 8 goals in total. He's got 37 points so far, and some of his key stats per 90, because he's conceded 8 goals in 8 games, he's conceding 1 goal per 90 minutes, and that's slightly better than their expected conceded goals per 90, which is 1.16. He's getting 3.38 shots per 90, although in one of the games he made about 9 saves. It's kind of skewing a bit of the data, and so far he's getting 4.5 points per match. And David Raya is very much a wait and kind of say, if you don't own him, don't buy him. If you own him, just keep him, just play him. And this goes for almost any goalkeeper, whether that's like if you've got Verbruggen, if you're someone like me who's got Fleckham, just wait. It's only a goalkeeper that they don't usually get massive points. It is what it is. Just play the long game, keep playing them, and David Raya will pick up clean sheets and points in games that you wouldn't expect. So even like Game Week 10, when it's considered a difficult fixture up against Newcastle, it could easily keep a clean sheet in that one. Or in Game Week 11, away to Chelsea, it could easily keep a clean sheet in that one. They have got some decent games between 12 and 15. Forest, although it is a tough game, I think it'll be a low-scoring game. And I could see Arsenal winning that game something like 1-0. And then they've got West Ham away, where he's predicted to get 4.4 points. Away to West Ham in Game Week 13, Man United at home in 14, and Fulham away in 15. So for me, it's just very much kind of a wait and see. I wouldn't waste a transfer on any goalkeeper. As a matter of fact, I think the only thing that might make you want to do it is the fact that David Raya is currently priced at 5.7 million. It's quite a lot for a goalkeeper, and you can see the likes of Sells, who's doing very well for Nottingham Forest, and a few of the other cheaper goalkeepers are doing equally as good as David Raya, and some are even doing better than him. So I could maybe see if people want to make a transfer to raise some money that way. But for me, I would just kind of keep him and just keep playing him in the games, and eventually start picking up points. But goalkeepers, make no transfers, stick with it, play the long game, and eventually they will get some points. On to the first defender, and it's Mykolenko from Everton. 4.3 million, 4.3% owned so far. He's made 6 appearances in the league and kept 1 clean sheet. Some of his per 90 data, it's not for great reading, to be honest, but they do have some good games coming up, and that's the reason why I would have Mykolenko down as a buy. Down to the fact that he's only 4.3 million, and they have got some good fixtures coming up as well. Some of his per 90 data, they're conceding 2.08 goals per 90, so 2 a game so far, which is worse than their expected goals. So they're defending worse than what the data suggests. His attacking data is terrible, XG 0.03 and expected assists of 0.03 per 90, both terrible. He's got 2 points per match so far, and some of his games coming up are nice, and that's the reason why I would have him down as a buy. If you've got some expensive defenders and you're trying to raise some money, if you've got some like a Trent, I mean, like I wouldn't sell Trent, to be honest, but like if you are looking to raise some kind of money, coming down to Mykolenko could really save you a lot of money, with the likes of Southampton, West Ham, Brentford and Wolves. All in the next 6, and some of his predicted points kind of range from 2.7 to 3.8, so I think you're getting decent bang for your buck in terms of this one here, and that's the reason why I've got him down as a buy. Let's look at a defender who I think you should sell. Moving on to the defender who I think you should sell, William Saliba, Arsenal defender, 6 million, 23.4% owned. He was banned for Game Week 9, and he comes into a couple tough games in the next 2. Some of his stats this season, he's made 8 appearances, 3 clean sheets. Arsenal conceded 8 goals in 8 games, and so far he's got 19 points for a premium defender, which is just terrible. Key stats per 90 is decent, to be fair, but the thing is with Saliba, the reason why I would sell him, they have got some tough games coming up, and is a premium defender, and you could save a lot of money going down to someone like a Mykolenko. You could save 1.7 million, and his output is probably comparable, to be honest, and that's the reason why I would have him down as a sell. Newcastle away in Game Week 10, tough game. Although I could see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet, I could see them conceding at the same time, so it's just one of those games. It could go either way. Chelsea away in Game Week 11, Forest at home in 12, West Ham away in 13, Man United at home in 14, and Fulham away in 15. And his points kind of range from 3 to kind of 4.3. He offers 0 attacking output. He's got an expected goal involvement per 90 of 0.01. Gabriel is something like 0.2. So if you do have an Arsenal defender, if you've got a Gabriel is keep. I would keep Gabriel all day long, but Saliba for me is very much a sell. Is massively underperforming. He either gets 2 points or 6 points. He doesn't go up for corners, doesn't get involved in kind of attacking aspects of the game. His predicted data doesn't look great, and you could go down someone like a Mikalenko, or let's take a look at the other defender who I think you could also go for, who could offer similar output with better fixtures. Moving on to Ryan 8 Nora, Wolves defender, 4.5 million, 4.9% owned, 8 appearances so far in the league. They've kept 0 clean sheets so far, which is just terrible from a defensive point of view, but he's got 5 attacking returns in those 8 games. He scored again today against Brighton, so he still managed to get a decent return for a defender, even though they've conceded a couple of goals. Some of his key stats per 90, Wolves just aren't defending well as a team, as a collective. They've conceded 2.88 goals per 90, so nearly 3 goals per game, and that's just so much worse than their expected goals conceded of 1.85. So they're just they're terrible as a defence, but they're performing even worse as a collective. But his XG is 0.12 and his expected assists is 0.06. So he's got an expected goal involvement of 0.18, which is decent for a defender, to be fair. So it might sound like a Gabriel. Is around 0.2, so like he's kind of comparable to that, and they do have some decent games coming up as well. And you can see from the expected points when we looked at Saliba a moment ago, where he's kind of ranged from about 2.5 to about 4. And like Ryan 8 Norris kind of starts at 3.7 and then goes up to like 4.6. So his predicted points is just so much higher than the likes of Saliba, and that's the reason why I would sell Saliba and look to buy someone like a Ryan 8 Norris. Save that 1.5 million and look for those attacking returns, and you never know, they might keep a clean sheet in there. They have had some really tough games earlier in the season, and the fixtures do improve moving forward from now, so they could easily keep a clean sheet moving forward. I like Gary O'Neill as a coach, and he did pretty well with them last season. Let's hope that they can improve defensively and he can get some clean sheets to go alongside with his incredible attacking output as well. So Palace at home in 10, Southampton at home in 11, Fulham away in 12, Bournemouth at home in 14, Everton away in at 14, and West Ham away in game week 15. So they've got 4 really good games in there, and then the 2 fixtures that are in grey that are considered kind of medium difficulty, they're both at home as well. So they're really good games for me as well. Like I wouldn't mind playing 8 Norway in any of these games. So he's very much kind of plug and play him and just kind of see how he goes for the next 6. The fixtures do get a little bit rough after a certain point, but even kind of game week 16, 17, 18 are still pretty decent for Wolves. So 8 Norway is very much kind of like a long-term play, and for his price as well, I don't think you can complain. He likes to get forward, he likes to attack, as you can see from his goal involvements, his 5 and 8 games. Great player, great buy, should definitely be on your radar if you're looking for a 4.5 million defender. Let's take a look at some midfielders. Feel a bit like a broken record here. Brian Mbeumo, spoke about him multiple times. I've praised him ad nauseum. He's a great player, great buy. You should have bought him 2 weeks ago, but this is like, it's still a good time to buy him. They've still got some good games coming up. Brentford midfielder, 7.6 million, 34.7% owned. He should be around 50-60%. He's just an absolute beast. He's such a good player, such a good finisher. 9 appearances so far in the league with 8 goals, no assists. His key stats per 90, he's getting 2.29 shots per 90, 2 key passes. He's got an XG of 0.43, an expected assists of 0.25. I'm currently averaging 6.7 points per match. Fulham away in game week 10, good game from an attacking point of view, and Mbeumo I think will be fine in here. And then from game week 11 to 13, a nice little run of games here. Bournemouth at home in 11, just to get 5.9 points. Everton away in game week 12. This might be a little bit tougher than what this suggests, but he's still predicted to get 5.3 points. And then at home to Leicester in game week 13, where he's predicted to get 6.2 points. Even Villa away, like I don't mind from an attacking out aspect, and I don't even mind Newcastle at home in game week 15. Like same again, like I don't mind it from an attacking point of view. Spoke about him a lot, like we all know what he can do. He's on penalties, scored a couple of goals today. I captained him, got that mega haul, joined the club, get involved with the goals. Happy times. Brian Mbeumo, buy him. Let's go. Let's move on to the next player. Moving on to another Arsenal asset. Bukayo Saka is currently, for me, is very much a wait and see. If you don't own him, don't buy him. If you own him and you already haven't sold him, I'd probably just keep him and just kind of wait and just kind of see if we do get some more information. Currently valued at 10 to 10.1 million. I forgot which one it is, and is owned by 34% of the game so far. I think his price is due to drop any moment now, but like he does have some decent stats in the league this season. 7 appearances, 2 goals, 7 assists. His per 90 data is great. He's getting around 4 shots per game. He's getting just over 4 key passes per game as well. His XG is 0.32 and his expected assist is 0.5, averaging 7.7 points per match. If he is fit and he does play, he's a great option, but I'm just unsure about the injury. We don't know when he's going to be back. I'm recording this before the Arsenal game on Sunday, so if he does play in that one, I could definitely keep him for this upcoming one. Some of the games on paper look tough, but Saka always performs in kind of any game, and he's very much a long-term hold. As you can see, when Saka is fit, he's still predicted to do pretty well in every single one of these games. So Newcastle away in game week 10, still predicted to get 6.2 points. Chelsea away in game week 11, still predicted to get 6.4 points. And Nottingham Forest at home in game week 12, 6.6 points predicted for that one. West Ham away in game week 13, Man United at home in 14, and Fulham away in game week 15. He always kind of averages 6 to 6.5 predicted points for any kind of game. But for me, if you don't need the money and you've got no kind of emergencies in your team, I probably wouldn't sell Saka. I sold him just because I wanted to move some money around. I wanted to go and get Salah, and if that's something you want to do as well, if you want to take some a Saliba down to a Mikalenko, move someone else, move something else around, and then take Saka up to Salah. Don't really mind that kind of strategy at all. But if you don't really want to do that and you're quite happy with your players, I'd wait and see with Saka. Let's look at the next player who I think you should buy. Moving on to the next midfielder, Dwight McNeil, Everton midfielder, 5.8 million, 13.3% owned. And I kind of hate to admit it, but he's done well. He's probably a buy, to be honest. And I've got this kind of picture in my head of McNeil just being this kind of bang average player where he doesn't kind of get any attacking returns. But so far, he's got 3 goals and 2 assists in 7 appearances in the league so far. So I think I'm probably wrong on this one. I think he probably is a buy, and for his price of 5.8 million, I think he just offers really great value. So if you've got someone like me, who's still holding someone like an Eze, taking that money down to a McNeil and freeing up some money, I wouldn't mind something like that at all. Some of his key stats per 90, 1.89 shots, 3.16 key passes. He's got an XG, expected goals of 0.07, which is terrible, but his assist threat and his kind of creativity of his expected assist of 0.39 just kind of blows everything away. And that's kind of what you want from McNeil. He's just that great creative asset, and he's going to get assists. He's going to keep getting assists probably on a lot of set pieces as well. Some of his upcoming games are just great, and I think they're great from an attacking point of view. Southampton away in game week 10 predicted to get 4.2 points. West Ham away in game week 11 predicted to get 4.1 points. At Brentford at home in game week 12, where he's predicted to get 4.6 points. Even Man United away in game week 13, where he's predicted to get 4.1 points. If he's on set pieces, we're not always great from set pieces, we're a little bit hit and miss. He could easily get an assist in that game as well. Going back to his boyhood club, so he could easily do something in that game there as well. So I think overall, McNeil needs to be considered. He should be on your radar. And if you are looking for a cheaper midfielder, why not take a look at McNeil? Still got some good games coming up as well. Even Liverpool at home in 15. We've still got 5 games before that, so we'll buy him now, play him for the next 5, and just kind of see what happens. Let's take a look at the last midfielder. Moving on to the last midfielder, Heung-min Son. Spurs midfielder, 9.9 million, 7.3% owned, 5 appearances, 3 goals, and 2 assists. When he plays, is great, and that's kind of proven by his key stats per 90, where he's getting just over 2 shots per 90. He's getting 2.6 key passes. He's got an XG of 0.31. Expected assist of 0.2. He's getting 6.8 points per match, and because of his recent injury, he's very much a wait and see. I think if you already own Son, I think you kind of need to hope that he's going to play in game week 11, where he's playing Ipswich at home, where he's only predicted to get 3.6 points in that game. You're really hoping that he's going to be fit for that one, and he might be a main captaincy shout for that. I think if there was any doubt surrounding that, I would probably sell him. So he's kind of on the scale of wait to sell right now. I definitely wouldn't be buying him. Unless we got massive assurances before the Ipswich game, I wouldn't even go out and buy him before that one either. For the price of 9.9 million, I'd probably look to sell him if anything. If you've got any doubts, I'd probably look to sell him. But I think if you do want to keep him and you are looking for a captain's shout for that game week 11, Ipswich at home, then you probably need to kind of wait and see and just kind of wait it out and just kind of if we do and just wait to see if we do get any information from Ange or if anything kind of gets leaked out about the starting lineups. So we can see in game week 10 at home to Villa, he's only predicted to get 1.8 points actually because he's not going to play a lot. Like he's predicted minutes around 20 for that, so he might come off the bench. Ipswich at home predicted to get 3.6 points. Again, he's not predicted to start in that right now, so his predicted points is quite low. Man City away, same again, still not predicted to start, so he's only predicted to get 4.6 points, which is pretty low for some regardless of opposition. As you can see from Fulham, Bournemouth and Chelsea, kind of ranges from 6.3 to 7 predicted points per game, and that's about right for Heung-min Son. Like he's always in and around that kind of 5.5 to kind of 7 range of predicted points unless they're playing someone really good. Unfortunately, yeah, like if you have brought him in recently, I think you kind of need to keep him for now, unless you really want to raise some money, and then you could sell him to like a McNeil and move some things around. But for me, it's very much kind of wait and see. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that his injury kind of cropped up when it did, because he looked pretty good against West Ham and he looked like he was really going to kick on and start playing really well. So real shame for Son and people that do own Son, but it is what it is sometimes. Let's take a look at some forwards. And first up, we've got Yohan Wissa from Brentford. 5.9 million, 3% owned so far. He's made 6 appearances so far in the league with 4 goals and 2 assists. He got 1 goal and 1 assist today up against Ipswich. Played really well. Some of his key stats per 90 are great considering he has had that injury as well. He's getting 3.13 shots per 90 with 1.14 key passes. He's got an XG of 0.41 and expected assists of 0.28. So far, he's getting 6.3 points per match, and he's very much on the buy radar for me. Like if you've got someone quite expensive and you want to come down and you want to free up some money, coming down to a Wissa just looks like a great option for me. Even if you've got someone like a Solanke, whereas for me, I'm still in 2 minds about what I want to do with Solanke. He's not kind of ticking well from kind of a number 9 point of view. He's kind of playing that Bobby Firmino kind of Liverpool role with Mane and Salah. He's dropping deep. He's not getting a lot of shots away. I think he's had something like 1 shot in the last 2 games. So if you've got someone like a Solanke and you just kind of lost a bit of faith in him, coming down to a Wissa, I don't mind something like that at all. They've got some really good games coming up as well. He's got a really good connection with Mbeumo as well. So the only issue with Wissa is that he only kind of plays 70 to 75 minutes just because they've got a lot of attacking options. But Fulham away in game week 10, where he's predicted to get 4.8 points. Bournemouth at home in game week 11, predicted to get 5.3 points. Everton away in 12, Leicester at home in 13. Even Villa away in game week 14, I don't mind. And then Newcastle at home in game week 15, which predicted to get 5.3 points in that one. I think he will tick along over the course of the season, but particularly for the next 4 games, I think he's a solid option. And if you are looking for a Brentford attacker to go alongside Mbeumo, take a look at Wissa. I can't get there, unfortunately, because I've already got Flecken, Vandenberg, and Mbeumo, so I won't be able to get to Wissa. But I think he's a great option for anyone who can get there. Up next is Alexander Isak, Newcastle forward, 8.3 million, 12.6% owned. Hasn't performed very well in the league so far, but he's got 6 appearances, 1 goal and 1 assist, and Isak is very much a wait and kind of see. He looked pretty decent in the past couple of games, and the reason why he is a wait is because he's got Arsenal in game week 10. But I think from game week 11 to 13, particularly for that short run, I think he's going to be a great option. He's very much their kind of talismanic from an attacking point of view. I really like Anthony Gordon as well, so if you wanted to go down that route kind of alongside or instead of, don't mind going for something like that. Some of his key stats per 90, he's got 3.27 shots per 90 so far, which is pretty good to be fair, and he's getting 1.09 key passes per 90. He's got an XG of 0.38 and expected assists of 0.09. He's only getting 3.5 points per match so far, but that's pretty low for someone of the calibre of Isak. Like we all saw what he did last season, and we also saw how clinical and how consistent he can be. I think if you can kind of get close to that, and I think he could easily cause some damage for in these upcoming games. Even Arsenal at home, like he's still predicted to get 5.6 points. If you want to take a gamble on him in that game, I'm not sure if I would go for that Arsenal fixture. I'd probably wait to kind of see how he looks in that one, and then maybe try and look to buy him in either Forest away, which is also a tough game from a defensive point of view. So that might not be a great time to buy him, but particularly from West Ham at home in 12, where he's predicted to get 6.5 points, and Crystal Palace away in game week 13, where he's predicted to get 5.8 points. I think those 2 games in particular are very, very good games from an attacking point of view, where Isak could cause some damage for those teams. But I just wanted to throw out kind of like a player that's like everyone's kind of forgotten about or he's dropped off your radar, just start thinking about him again, because I think it will hit a point very, very soon where Isak will be very much at the front of our minds, and we're trying to think about getting him into our team. So start thinking about him now and see how you can prepare and you can like kind of manage and plan to get someone like Isak into your team. I feel like I've been speaking about Cunha for about 4 weeks now, but I just really like him as a player. I like him as a striker. I like him as an all-round footballer. Wolves forward, Mateus Cunha, 6.5 million, 2.8% owned. Really low ownership once again. 9 appearances so far in the league. 4 goals, no assist. Wolves had a really tough start early in the season, and the fixtures get a lot better moving forward now. His key stats per 90 are just great. He's getting 3.2 shots per 90, 1.75 key passes. His XG is 0.27 and expected assists of 0.19. So there's some like pretty decent data considering like they've not been great. The only thing I don't really like about Cunha, it feels like Strand Larsen's playing as the proper number 9. And I wouldn't even mind people going for Strand Larsen, who's valued at 5.5 million. I think he's a great budget striker. Cunha's kind of playing more in the 10 and dropping a little bit deeper than I would like. Probably on penalties as well, but I still like him enough to put him down as a buy. I think he's more talismanic than the likes of Strand Larsen, and that's the reason why I've got Cunha over the likes of Larsen instead, but I wouldn't mind if you did want to go for Larsen instead. Crystal Palace at home in game week 10. Where he's predicted to get 5.2 points. Southampton and Fulham in the next 2 after that, where he's predicted to get 4.8 points against Fulham and 5.5 points against Southampton. Some really good games in there as well. Bournemouth at home in 13, Everton away in game week 14, and West Ham away in game week 15. And Wolves have got some good games after this as well. 16, 17, 18 are all good games as well. So he's very much a long-term option. You can buy him now and keep him for the next kind of 10 weeks or so. And that's the reason why I've got him down as a buy, where like I'm not looking at these kind of short-term high upside players like and what Cunha is very much kind of like plug and play, just play him every single week for the next 10 weeks. And sometimes you need players like that, and if you are looking for a player like that, particularly in the forward line, Cunha should be very, very high up on your list. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. I've tried to highlight a few players for game week 10 who I think you should think about either buying, selling, or just wait and see in certain situations. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.